Hey everybody, sorry about that lighting. Hey gang, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Chad, CKNF and Tool. If you are new, thanks for stopping over. Got a little video here about my Nissan Titan. As the title states, I'm actually wrapping stuff up this morning and I'm doing a whole bunch of video editing today and doing laundry as well. Can't get too busy. I got to go get the kids. They're coming back from camp today. So I thought a good thing to do is do my projects. And there's one video in particular that has been in the making for a better part of 4 to 5 months at least, and that is the suspension system for my Nissan Titan. When I bought the Nissan Titan, I had certain types of ideas of what I wanted to do with it, but it wasn't until I purchased it and started looking into it I realized there's just not a lot there for a Nissan Titan and for a guy that wants to do what I wanted to do, and that is build a somewhat decent off-road overlanding vehicle. So what I ended up doing is doing a lot of research online, and I managed to get in touch with one company in particular, and that is Offroad Warehouse down in California. They did have a shop down in San Diego. They had a couple other shops. They had some fires and some bad issues, had bad luck at the end of last year of 2018 and the beginning of 2019, but they got a new shop. Really cool. I have not been down there. I've seen a lot of photos and really neat, but that's not what this is about. It's about the customer service of this company and the huge support I've gotten from one individual, as well as the products that I got from Offroad Warehouse. So I'm going to head inside because I got a whole bunch of footage about the truck, hodgepodged here and there. I would do more editing out here, but as you probably hear in the background, my neighbors have their grandkids running around and playing, and I don't have a laptop, so when I'm editing everything, it's on my Mac. So I'm going to take you inside the house, set you up in the office there, and I'm going to do a little voiceover type editing and give you a little bit of idea of what it was I got, what we did, pros and cons, what I learned, and maybe some of this will be helpful for you guys that have Nissan Titans like mine, the second generation Nissan Titan. So let's get at it. Hey guys, welcome to the office. Well, what I'm going to do is go ahead. I'm really just going to start putting a little voiceover on the video as I'm going through it to give you guys a little idea on what it was, the product that I'm using, why I chose it, maybe some descriptions on it. But ultimately, what you're going to have to do is jump down below in my description. There's going to be the link to Offroad Warehouse as well as Performance Lifts. Performance Lifts, I purchased one thing outside of Offroad Warehouse, and that was the sway bar links that you'll see here in a second. And the sway bar links, Mike recommended these. He used them on all of his trucks and all the builds that they were doing. They just didn't carry them at Offroad Warehouse at the time I was going through this. So I went over there, bought them. Those folks, I don't know much about them other than they shipped really quickly, and I was really impressed by the product they sent. So without further ado, let's get into this video and I'll show you what I got here. As you see, this is the stock Nissan. This is basically just a couple days after I bought it, and then about a month after that I bought the cap or the canopy, as you've seen in a previous video. The trucks sit nice, but I wanted to make room for larger tires and a little bit better ground clearance. When I contacted Mike at Offroad Warehouse, he hooked me up with several different components. It was actually a full package. One of them was rough country. These are spacers. These are for a 2-inch leveling kit, and I was really impressed by these. They are machined aluminum. They are not cast like some other companies. Next thing was I got the SPC alignment cam bolts. These help you do your alignment after you do your lift. That is a requirement. You're going to have these, and you're going to have an alignment done once you get this job completed. One of the things I was really impressed by is Dirt King. Now, I'm not sure if Dirt King sends them out directly. I thought they did. I thought they came from Dirt King themselves. Really well packaged, wrapped up. I was very impressed by these things, and super excited. Super heavy. Energy, I got these from Mike. These are actually shock bushings and sleeves, and you'll see more of these in a second. And I was really stoked by seeing these once I saw Bilstein's stock ones. And who doesn't like a t-shirt every now and then? Mike sent me a Offroad Warehouse t-shirt, and I wear it with pride, that's for sure. So thanks, Mike, for all that. Now, one last box in the first part of this build series was the box with my Bilstein shocks and struts. I went with the 5100 and 5125 series. These are really good. These are actually the same ones that Nissan puts on the Nissan Titan Pro 4X series. That's their off-road version. Now again, just to touch on Dirt Kings here, of course, made in America. I was really liking that. Really good, clean welds. They have it labeled driver and passenger, so you know what side goes to what. And really impressed by the packaging again in the product. But more impressive is they use Moog ball joints. I've used Moogs in the past on my F350s and I love them. Here are your SPC bolt, your cam bolts for your alignment. Again, you'll definitely need these things after you do your, you'll have to get an alignment afterwards. And again, here's the energy bushings and the sleeves, and you'll see why I like these so much in a second. Rough Country. It said made in CH, and I'm thinking that means China. But somewhere down the line, I could have swore these were actually made here in the US, so I was kind of confused by the box and then the product, but either way, really pleased with what they look like. And again, just a little overview about everything that Mike sent me, and really pleased and impressed with everything. Now, the first thing we want to do is we want to do the rear. Chris came by and helped me get this thing going, and right off the bat we found we were going to have a couple of problems, some wiring in the way to get to some bolts and nuts. But, you know, just pop the clips, be very cautious so you don't break them. And the other thing is that's the stock Nissan shock, and that is the compressed Bilstein, and there's already such a big difference. And here we had to use my Dake press to pop the actual bushing, the little rubber bushing that was in the stock Bilsteins. We popped that out, but I had gone ahead and I found a piece of pipe. I cut it and I sanded it down, and we ended up using it as a sleeve to help remove the rubber bushing that was in there. And it worked out pretty good. I don't know how else you'd be able to remove these without that sleeve and without something like this Dake press. Now this here, that's the actual stock Bilstein bushing, the sleeve that comes with it. And that is, now I'm showing you here, that's the upgraded. So again, this came with Bilstein, so that's the actual sleeve it came with, and it won't fit the stock Nissan bolt. One of the other things is here is on my right, that is the stock bushing, and on the left inside the shock, that's the upgraded by Energy. You can see the thickness of the Energy versus the Bilsteins. And then the one on the right, the sleeve on the right there, that is the Energies, and the little one on the left, that's Bilstein. Again, really impressed by the Energy, and if you're going to do this build, I would say this is definitely a must, especially since the bolt won't fit in there. The other thing I want to show you is this here. Now these little tabs that I'm pointing at, these are actually on both sides of the upper control arm bracket, the mount, and you have to grind those down smooth in order for those not to rub on the upper control arm when you put them in. Lastly, here are the sway bar links that I got from Performance Lifts. You can see the difference between those. That one on the right weighed about as much as the one on the left times 2. Really impressed by the quality of that. Took Chris and I about 2-3 hours to get those put in. You won't need to do an alignment after installing the sway bar links, but I ended up installing the sway bar links after everything else was done. And if you're going to do everything, I would just recommend, if you're tearing it all down, get everything up front, stage it, and then do it all at one time. And then, yes, go get your alignment, because I did too. So as you see, the build, it actually went pretty good. Chris and I spent a good day, about 8 hours, I would have to say, on doing the front and rear. And that was the rear shocks, as well as the front shocks, struts, and the spacers. That was one day. I spent another day, I spent about 2 or 3 hours when I got the upgraded U-bolts and the 2-inch lift for the back end. And then lastly, we spent about 3 hours on the sway bar links when we got those in the mail. So again, like I said, this was done in stages in 3 different parts. I would say what you're going to do, if you have a Nissan Titan like mine, the 2nd generation, I would just say buy everything up front, get it all staged, and when you're ready, just do it all at one time, and then go send it out to get an alignment. I already had my alignment done when I did the initial upgrade. I have not done an alignment since I did the rear spacers from 1-inch to 2-inch. nor did I do an alignment after the sway bar links. I haven't noticed a difference in my driving, but I may still just go ahead and do the alignment when I get new tires. That's the next thing on the list. I'm looking at general grabbers. I like the information and the specs I'm getting on that, and I'm liking the reviews that people are giving. So I think that's going to be the next tire that'll be getting put on Old Trip here, and that'll happen later in the fall of 2019. So hopefully, again, gang, the video is somewhat helpful for you all. If you don't have a Nissan and you have something else and you're thinking about doing this kind of build, check out Mike over at Offroad Warehouse. Jump over on their website. I'll have links down below, and see if they can help you. I don't have any coupon codes as of yet. Oh, actually, you know what? I think I do. It is Mike ORW. I'll put it right here. Mike ORW. I believe that's a good discount code still. And at the making of this video, it was actually still good because I looked it up the other day for a friend of mine. So Mike ORW, check that link out down below. And again, if you have any questions or anything, let them know and tell them that CK Knife and Tools sent you. That would help me. So again, gang, have a good one. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.